And we're back.
Yep. There we go.
What's your thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3?
I didn't play that.
I'm playing through it right now. Oh, we got someone.
Cool.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey. Agent pronouns, please.
26, see him.
Cool.
So what would be your justification for ICE being fascist?
Dog, they're taking people and murking them on the streets.
Criminals, they're taking criminals. That's not a fascist ideology.
And what makes them criminals?
The fact that they crossed the border in the first place, that is a federal law being broken. So, I mean, that's a felony, by the way.
Okay,
so
hang on,
already when they
hang
come
on.
into the country, they're convicted felons.
Stop talking fast.
You want me to slow it down for you?
Yeah, let me pose a hypothetical.
All right, go ahead.
For you. So let's just say that a whole bunch of people came on boats and they kicked out all the people who were living there first, and they
that's
brandished
conquering.
weapons.
That's conquering, by the way.
Is it?
That's not even analogous.
How is it different?
Well, because the country wasn't even established, so therefore they didn't have a set of rules that didn't allow them to come in on those boats. Could you show me a law that says that they couldn't come to that country?
Could you show me a law that says that those people are not allowed to come to that country?
No, because there was no laws. So therefore they could come to that country. Unless they had any established country, they couldn't do that. They could do that.
No, but the thing is that you keep saying that the people that ICE are detaining are illegal.
Absolutely.
When they've detained U.S. citizens.
Because they were interfering with investigations. You could do that.
They've detained people who were born in the United States because they happen to have brown skin.
No. Can you give me an example of that happening?
What was that one guy that got sent to El Salvador? What was his name?
Because he was an El Salvador citizen and his visa expired. Nice. So you're gonna give me a guy whose visa expired, so therefore he was in the country illegally.
I was under the impression that he was a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, and that's what you get for listening to left-wing rhetoric.
But tell me, why are you okay with ICE officers just unaliving people on the streets?
They're not unaliving for no reason. They had a justification for it.
Really?
Yes. Can you give me one example where they didn't have a justification for it?
What was the justification for Alex Peretti?
Yeah, so he had a gun. Pew pew. I meant my bad.
He had a legal firearm that he
well,
was.
hang
not
on. I wasn't finished. I wasn't even finished. I didn't say that they were they were pew pewing him because he was concealing.
So he had a legal firearm.
All right.
No,
so
you keep that damn thing off. You keep that damn thing off.
Right. I'm explaining.
I know how you pieces of shit work. You keep that damn thing off until we're finished, okay?
All right, but I wasn't finished.
Be a good boy and keep that thing off.
Right, but I wasn't finished, right? So I was
be a good boy and keep that thing off.
Right, so that's emotional and
Can you be a good boy and keep that thing off?
Oh, all right, madam, I'm trying to explain my point here. Right.
No,
so because you're about to strawman my arguments. So you're about to
Teehee, if you're not going to slow down and let us have a discussion, then you're not going to stay up here. Hi, agent pronouns, please.
Okay.
What, lol? Lol? Okay.
Hey, by the way, is it proven that, where did this guy in the chat say learn that Peretti was a communist?
I don't think he was a communist.
I don't think he was.
All I know about Peretti was that he legally had the firearm. He wasn't brandishing it. It was during a concealed it never left the holster in a concealed carry state, and the only time it did leave the holster was when the ICE agents removed it from the holster.
He also, by the way, oh yeah, you just said the thing I was gonna say. Yeah. Someone said he should have stayed home.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Hi, Asian pronouns, please.
Yeah, I'm 22. My pronouns are he, him.
Cool. So, would you like to say your piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's enough
Thank
of that.
you. Okay, I accepted another guy, but for some reason he didn't come up. That's weird. Up here,
Let's
we'll
set
wait.
this guy up.
Yeah. Hi, Asian pronouns, please.
Hello, I'm 22. He, him is fine.
Okay. And would you like to say your piece?
Yeah, can you guys define fascism?
Fascism is an authoritarian state in which the ruling class the ruling class has instill a hierarchical. I'm stumbling over my words. It's Resident. You got this?
All right, fascism is an authoritarian state where the government controls everything, and the rich and the government control everything, and they restrict the freedom of all the citizens.
Alright, so how is that any different than the USSR? How's that different from communism?
I'm not a communist.
Okay, first off, we're not communists, we're socialists. Second off,
I'm not making the claim you are communists.
and second off, under what Marx wrote as communism, the thing is that the government would be directly controlled by the people, not through like representatives, but through councils. Because the United Soviets, the United hit a Soviet. What was the thing? The United Socialist Soviet Republic. Heck, that whole thing was that every single area had its own Soviet that where they would elect a guy, and then in the bigger council, those guys would come and convene. But the smaller councils did everything for their different areas. Right? That's what a Soviet is. It's a council.
Yeah, under this criteria, the definition for fascism you provided, that would encompass the USSR, that would encompass China, that would also encompass America during World War II.
See, now you're getting it.
Yeah.
So the communists were fascists by this logic, even though the fascists
Stalin,
and the communists were fighting each other.
I don't like China.
Under Stalin, yeah.
China, the CCP aren't true communists. They're fascist as fuck.
Yeah, and once Stalin took over, the USSR definitely became fascist.
So okay, were the United States founders fascists?
No, they were not.
Why not? They fit this criteria.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
But you do need to remember that fascism is something that cannot work with democracy. And the founding fathers...
Actually, under the criteria you gave, it actually could. You could vote a fascist into office. Like,
Yeah,
you know how Trump was voted into office?
You can vote a fascist into office, but you can't have a democracy under fascism. The fascists, once voted in, has to dismantle democracy, or else they lose their power.
That's the same thing that happened with Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but under this criteria, democratic fascism, you've already accepted that is possible.
Yes, that's what we just said.
Yeah.
You can elect a fascist into government, but once the fascist is elected into government, they have to dismantle democracy.
Yeah, but this definition isn't exactly coherent because this would make communists fascists, even though they're two completely different ideologies.
Do you know what a communist is?
Yes, communism is a movement towards a stateless and classless society.
Fascism, what fascists fascism involves you need to have a state and classes to have
Yeah.
fascism.
Yeah, the way that fascism
completely
works is that
contradicts.
rather than having the state provide for the people provide for the state.
Yeah, but you said
It-
Stalin, who was a communist, is a fascist.
No, Stalin was not a
Yes.
communist.
Oh, he's
Sta-
not.
Do you know anything about Stalin?
I know enough about Stalin to understand that he was
Do
most
you?
definitely a communist and followed the ideology of Marx.
See, you can say that you're a communist all you want, but unless you follow communist principles, because you can't really do that. Stalin might have said he was a communist, but also thought that communism was blowing stuff up and having his way.
But so you're saying even though they're taking from the ideology of the source material, then they're still not the thing, even though they identify as the thing?
North Korea says it's democratic.
Yeah,
And
but
it's not.
we're
You
talking
can say
about
you're
Stalin.
one thing.
Yeah, the point
No,
that
but
Stalin said he was. The point is, Stalin said he was one thing, and he wasn't that thing.
Yeah, you can lie. You do realize that humans can lie.
Yeah, but he was
The
most
fucking,
definitely not a fascist.
The Yahtzees, for example, because I don't think I can say that word. The Yahtzees were fascists, but they said they were socialists. They weren't. They just fucking lied.
Yeah. Yes.
No, so fascism is a third. It's called the third position for a reason. Fascism. I don't think you guys actually have an understanding of what fascism is.
So, the thing is, when you go far enough right, you get fascism. When you go far enough left, you get communism. And then capitalism, which will always favor fascism because you can sell weapons to the fascists, is supposed to be center.
What? Wait, what? Okay, hold on. I'll tell you guys actually what fascism is. So, fascism is a corporatist state where the body merges with the head of the state, creating two heads in one body under the symbol of the fascisti. And it's also palingenetic. So, I'll try and make it more concise. It's a corporatist, palingenetic, ultranationalist state. That's the most narrow definition that you could ever get. This is coming from Giovanni Gentile, the architect of fascism. And Trump and America most definitely doesn't meet that ultranationalism criteria. And without that, the entire pillar for fascism falls apart.
If not Nazi, why Nazi shaped?
Wait, so are you saying that America
Oh.
First does not fall under that?
Yeah, that's national. That's just nationalism. That's not ultranationalism.
So it's not ultra nationalism to want to invade other sovereign countries for no other reason than because we want it, than because you want it.
So, okay, here's what
It's not
nationalism.
It's not
No,
ultra
it's not. This is what nationalism
round up
versus.
people who don't look like you and throw them into camps.
That's not, dude.
It's not ultra nationalist to have people running around on the streets.
No,
Okay,
you're making two. This is a category error. So this ultranationalism is where you're putting your nation above literally everything, including your family and your God. Nationalism is putting your nation above other nations. So they're two completely different things. Trump barely meets the criteria for nationalist.
Really? So the people in the MAGA cult saying that Trump is the second coming, that's not ultranationalism.
Yeah, no, that's not. That's literally not. Is that putting your nation above everybody?
You said that's putting your nation above of your fellow man and your God. People saying that Trump is the second coming are putting Trump above Jesus.
How is that putting Trump above? What the fuck, dude? Like,
do you know what the second?
First of all, show me a single instance of people saying that, because I don't even believe that for a second.
Yeah. First off, do you know what the second coming is?
Yes, I do.
So yeah, what people are saying is that Trump is supposed to be Jesus, which is idolatry under Christianity, and not only that, but is putting your nation, your leader, above of your God. Not to
So
mention,
is the
can
prompt
you tell?
America is fascist or are Trump supporters fascist?
Well, America has always been teetering on the edge of fascism for as long as I've been alive.
Not if it's ultranational. If there's no ultranationalism happening.
So, have you heard of a subreddit called r/shit Americans say, where it's always a bunch of people saying that America is the absolute greatest place to live? With
Yeah,
no,
that's nationalism.
yeah, and you can understand where the slippery slope into ultranationalism comes, right?
No. Also, ultranationalism is described by Giovanni Gentile. It's loyalty to the state and nothing but the state.
Yeah. Look at what MAGA's been doing.
Yeah, what have they been doing?
You guys were the "don't tread on me, Second Amendment is my right" kind of crowd, right up until a guy was murked for legally possessing a firearm.
No, that's not why he was murked, actually.
Why
What
was he
happened
murked?
was,
He helped up a
here's what
woman?
happens. Have you guys ever been trained with a pew pew before? Are you trained with that?
No.
I have shot a weapon. I have shot a gun.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'll explain. So if you're trained by anybody who's a CPL instructor, you're literally told to avoid conflict. And if an officer is trying to detain you, you're supposed to notify them that they're armed. And he did neither of those things. So
Yeah,
the
they
issue
were-
isn't that he was armed. The issue was he was armed while resisting arrest and not avoiding conflict.
But he wasn't resisting arrest.
All
He
he
absolutely
all right,
was
I will
resisting
tell
arrest.
you exactly what happened. All right, he went to help a woman up and was immediately fucking attacked by these fucking fascist pigs.
He didn't help her up. He got in between the agent and the woman. Why did he need to do
He
that?
was trying to help her up
Yeah, but why did he need to do that?
because he
Because-
had basic human
Because ICE are
empathy.
thugs. They're thugs that brutalize people.
Because he had basic human empathy and he was a good person and he saw a woman who was hurt and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you up."
So
Yeah.
he wasn't avoiding conflict, which is what he was trained to do?
He was helping a fucking person. I understand that empathy is
person
something
being
that you
detained
maggots
by
don't
ICE.
have.
He's a fucking ICU nurse. It's in his job description to help people, whether he's on
Yeah.
the clock or not.
And the thing is, he never once brandished the weapon. The only time the weapon left its holster was when the ICE agents tackled him to the ground and removed it forcefully.
Yeah, what you're supposed to do is if you're in conflict with an officer who are armed, you're
What
supposed to
officers
notify
are
them
supposed
that
to
they're
do is
armed.
not shoot people in the streets.
So even if
You know,
there's the threat
the
that they could be unalived themselves by someone who was also armed.
Yeah, but at no point did Alex Preddy brandish the weapon. At no point did he brandish the firearm. It was a
Yeah, no one's
concealed
making
carry.
that claim.
Did they even know he had do we have evidence that they even knew he had the fucking firearm when they fucking attacked him?
Yeah, in
I
the
don't think
video
we do.
they yelled I can't say the word, but they yelled pew 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 pew, and then the gun apparently, I think it was a negligent discharge because that pew pew has had many issues with it firing off randomly. And I think that's what happened is the pew pew went off and then they started unloading.
So it takes 5 trained officers trained in quotation marks, because we do know that ICE officers don't receive that much training. But it takes 5 trained officers to apparently detain someone and unarm them. And then, of course, one of them had to just, while he was unarmed and on the ground and was pacified, take out his firearm and just dome him in the head.
Oh, I don't know the exact specifics on what they're trained or not trained to do. The thing is like, even let's just grant for the sake of argument that everything that ICE did was completely unjustified. Let's just grant it for the sake of argument. Like, well, so what? Like, what are they supposed to do now? Are they supposed to just be abolished and let people who are here illegally still be here illegally?
Yes, because
Oh, okay.
illegal.
So we shouldn't uphold our laws?
Illegal immigrants don't cause problems.
Yes, they do. They cause a lot of problems.
Such as.
Literally before all these riots were happening, or I'm sorry, definitely not organized protests. There was literally Somalian fraud, which is from illegal immigrants in the very same city of Minneapolis.
And so, why were the Minneapolis police not handling that? Why did ICE have to get involved?
Because the police were not handling that, and then ICE got
And
involved.
the thing is that from what I remember, before Trump's second term, ICE had to actually get evidence that the person that they're going after was an illegal alien. Now they just kind of walk in and grab someone.
Yeah, that's what happens when you've let millions and millions of people
So they're
into the
grabbing
country
people
illegally.
without evidence. They're just assuming you're brown-skinned, you must be an illegal alien.
It's
Well,
actually
they're not assuming that either. They actually have probable cause of which people they're supposed to apprehend on if
So
they're
they're
illegal
deporting
immigrants
people
or
without
not.
evidence.
it's been it's been like they said that it's completely illegal for them to just racially profile people based on their skin color or accent.
What's the law? What's the
See
law
what
that
I
made
mean?
it legal?
See what I mean by you maggots just flip-flopping,
Yeah, are
depending
you
on what
going to
your leader
engage with
does?
my arguments? Are you going to engage? Where's the law that made racial profiling legal for ICE officers?
Resident, you're the American here. Resident?
Sorry, I'm getting the exact law.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the law that says you can deport people for being brown? I want to see that law.
Well, while we wait for Resident to get that, what about Renee Nicole Good? Someone who, from the footage of the ICE officer that unalived her, was not doing anything wrong. Her last words were, "I don't hate you." You can see her moving her car away from the ICE officers to, just get away from the situation. And from the shot, from the photo of the aftermath, the entry hole, into the windshield would make no sense under the angle you guys propose.
Yes. So the vehicle could be seen as a unalively. I don't want to say the word to get alive taken down, but it could be seen as something that would unalive somebody. If a car is going 5-10 miles an hour, that could cause serious harm to a person if they're standing in front of it.
Okay, but they weren't standing in front of it. By the time the car started moving, the ICE officer in question was behind it, and it was only when he realized it was moving did he run in front of it.
Yeah, he was trying to get her to stop. He told her to get out, and she didn't get out, and she tried to drive off, and it hit him.
Yeah, but she's leaving. You can see
Yeah, why is
from
she
the
leaving?
footage, she's turning the wheel away from the ICE officers.
Yeah, why is she leaving when he told her to get out?
Not to mention that ICE officers do not have jurisdiction over that.
Yeah, but they're federal agents that can give lawful commands, such as step out of your vehicle, to U.S. citizens. Why did she disobey that lawful order?
You don't know why. She probably didn't hear it. She probably didn't hear it. She probably feared for her life. Hey, she probably assumed that they were talking to someone else. Why didn't the ICE officer, with his phone out, because he had his phone out, why didn't he get a photo of the plates so that way he could run them?
I have
had
more
the video of the
screenshots
plates.
them. I just have
Exactly.
this. So I just have this screenshot to show the exact context. I have more. Hold on, but to show the source of the American Immigration Council. All right. 6-3 vote in a case known as Vasquez Perdomo versus Nome. The Supreme Court granted an emergency request from the Trump administration and temporarily halted the judge's order that barred roving patrols from snatching people off California streets and questioning them based on looks and all that. And then On Monday, the Supreme Court issued a brief unsigned order that overturns those decisions. This gives immigration agents a green light to once again stop anyone they guess to be here illegally, even if a central reason for the stop was race. This endorses ICE and Border Patrol targeting any Latinos they observe in Los Angeles speaking Spanish or working in low-income jobs, and then demanding. Hold on, I have more.
Yeah, you're giving somebody's interpretation of the ruling. Can you give the actual ruling?
I love how you maggots always like to move the goalpost.
That's not moving the goalpost. That's actually putting the goalpost where we were talking about it.
No, but you guys like to say, "Oh, we're not a cult, but yet you defend everything that Trump does, even when the stuff he does is stuff like taking the Second Amendment away from people, or taking the Second Amendment away from people, or going after farmers, because you guys are in a cult." And I have heard maggots say that anyone who's left MAGA, anyone who's decided that MAGA, that it's not worth being part of MAGA, they were never MAGA and never will be MAGA.
Yeah. Any criteria that you point to as being like a cult, I guarantee you that would fit the description of any left-wing movement or organization. That would fit they would fit any of that criteria.
Left-wing organizations such as?
You could just say the Democrat Party, or like white people for Kamala, or whatever the hell it is.
So the Democrat Party is a political party.
Okay. What are the criterias for a cult?
So one of the criteria of the cult has to be a strong, charismatic leader.
Okay. Kamala Harris.
Who is not a strong, charismatic leader.
Well, she was a strong, charismatic leader for the Democrat Party for a period of time, wasn't she?
No, but even Democrats, even like people who would normally vote Democrat, didn't vote for her.
Yeah, but she was strong enough to be made the primary without even being voted on.
Yeah, because wasn't she like the vice president of? Wasn't she like Joe Biden's? Joe Biden's.
She was the vice president, but
Yeah.
the original nominee was Joe Biden, and then he pulled
who
out.
dropped out of the race? Who dropped out of the race halfway through?
Yeah, but she wasn't even voted on. In fact, I don't think most people even wanted that, except for the politicians that wanted to keep power.
Yeah, and not only that, but also, if you're going to point to any Democratic leader, Obama would be the closest one to a cult-like figure.
Yeah, sure. So, like, that just makes my point.
All right.
But the thing is, the Democratic Party can exist without its particular leader. Without Trump, MAGA falls apart. The second thing is complete isolation. A cult will isolate you from your friends, from your family, from your loved ones.
Yeah, how would being a Trump supporter isolate you, except from the people that are opposing Trump are the ones isolating you?
Because the MAGA cult insists that any family member who has left you because of your views on Trump, they're the bad guys. They're the ones that don't deserve your love.
No,
Right?
literally nobody is saying that. You're just making that up.
So,
in fact, it's the opposite is true. I'm hearing that from people on the left.
Oftentimes you'll find the people on the left are saying, "Hey, yeah, we understand it's kind of hard to leave your parents behind, but ultimately at the end of the day, you need to do what's good for you over what you think your parents would want."
Dude, I'm seeing a million lives on TikTok of divorce your MAGA husband. Like, how is that not cult-like behavior?
Because it's a support group.
A support group for what?
You do realize that oftentimes MAGA husbands are more abusive.
I don't realize that. In fact, I dispute that. Show me any evidence of being MAGA or anything right wing would show any evidence of you being more abusive to your spouse.
Okay, my stepmother is full on, like, right wing.
Okay.
She tried to kill me.
Okay. And my mother is full on right wing, and she did not try to kill me. So what's your point?
My point is that they are abusive to people who are not in the in group.
Yeah, but an anecdote isn't evidence. I'm not trying to take that away from you. I'm sorry that did happen, but I'm just trying to like say that like an anecdotal experience unfortunately isn't sufficient evidence to like back your claim.
But yeah, so the MAGA cult is often isolated, with the only people that they're able to interact with is other maggots. Someone
That's
else
literally
named-
not true. Like I'm not even okay. I have to interact with people that oppose my ideology all the time, and there's literally nobody on the right restricting that from me.
Okay, you do realize that, I mean, this kind of interaction is not what I'm talking about, because this is you trying to defend your cult. I'm talking about, hey bro, do you want to grab a beer and maybe hop on the game?
Not this fucking guy. Do you go into every live trying to like spread your grapist
Oh, do you
agenda?
know this? Do you know this guy?
Yeah.
Do we know this guy?
I
Yeah,
do.
show me any
Yep.
time where I said grape was okay. Can you demonstrate that ever once?
Yeah, when you said that that 11-year-olds would have to give birth. After
Yeah,
being
does
raped.
that mean I think grape is
Oh.
okay? Does that mean?
Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're not having you up
Okay.
here. No.
Okay,
Yeah, get out. Holy shit.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention. No, if you think
Yep.
that if you think 11-year-olds should have to give birth, I don't care. I don't care what you think. That's wrong.
Yeah, he's a Christian MAGA supporter.
Yeah, so the thing that prompted this is I have this now. This
Yeah.
prompt now.
Hang on, guitarist, do you have any proof for that
The
claim?
projection is insane.
Do you have any proof for that claim? Because we go off of proof. We go off of whether or not people are reliable and what they say.
Well, you should believe me. I have no proof for my claim, but you should believe me that Jess Diddles.
Yeah, see, the difference between
crazy.
you and Jess is that we trust Jess. We know that Jess is a reliable source of information. So when Jess comes out and says that you support 11-year-olds giving birth, we know you're bad. Not to mention that you being pro MAGA is kind of a sign that you are pro rapist, considering that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
isn't Trump a 34-time convicted felon rapist?
Yes.
And not to mention the fact that when we brought that up to him and saying that Trump is a chomo, and he was just like, what's your proof? What's your evidence? And I was like, okay, buddy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's just projection on your part, guitarist. I do hope that you're not around children for their safety.
But yeah, what I was trying to say before you who came in and graciously informed us of that information was that, so criteria number one for whether or not criteria number one for a cult, you need to have a strong charismatic leader at the center of everything. You can say, oh, but the Democrat Party has a leader. It's like, yeah, they have a leader, but they're not built around their leader.
Before Jess showed up, I was waiting for my chance to point this out. Immigration
Hun, you're the
Nationality
host.
Act.
You can tell us to shut the fuck up whenever you want.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to let you, because you were on a roll, so.
Yeah, but I did say that that was just going to be a tangent while we waited for you to talk. While we waited for you to
Oh.
do your thing.
Well, I missed that part. Oh well. The Immigration and
Oh, well.
Nationality Act authorizes immigration officers to interrogate any alien or person believed to be an alien as to his right to be or to remain in the United States. Immigration officers may briefly detain an individual for questioning if they have a reasonable suspicion based on specific articulable facts that the person being questioned is an alien illegally in the United States. So that would be racial profiling, because what would be the facts? What would be the facts to assume that someone is illegal, other than accents and skin color?
Exactly.
This is, by the way, this is from SupremeCourt.gov.
Anyway, what I was saying about MAGA being a cult. So, criteria number 1, you need to have a strong, charismatic leader at the center of your movement. Hint: the reason why the Democratic Party doesn't qualify for this is because, while yes, they might have strong, charismatic leaders, they themselves are not hot. Their leader isn't built around the community. Isn't built around the leader. The leader is just the one who leads the community. For instance, when Obama left, people were able to migrate to Biden and then Kamala. Right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, with the MAGA movement, once Trump goes, it can't sustain itself because it was built around Trump and it circles around Trump. Criteria number 2, isolation and otherization. Basically, the cult needs to convince everyone in the cult that they are her, insert whatever, whether they're the true patriots of America, they're chosen people by God, the warriors against the woke mind virus, whatever you want to say. The reason why the Democratic Party doesn't fall into this is because the Democratic Party doesn't fall into this is because the Democratic Party doesn't view itself as the last bastion for true America. They're just, hey, don't vote for us because that guy wants to ruin America. Right?
Yes.
And also to add on to my otherization thing, oftentimes people who are in cults will be isolated from people who are not in the cult. You might say, "Oh, but maggots interact with us almost on a regular." Yeah, but the thing is, they're trying to like, what's the thing? What's the word I'm looking for? They're trying to do the whole, "Oh, you guys are evil. You guys are bad. You guys are awful" thing, right? They're actively trying to debate us. They view us as an enemy, not as a fellow man. And there is no maggot will ever grab beers with someone who's not part of the MAGA cult, unless it is to indoctrinate more people into the MAGA cult. Wonder why that guy's not joining. I did accept his invite. I didn't accept his request.
Because he left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Damn, it's like they don't even wait. Like, he just requested. It's like, wait till at least a second, bro. Jesus.
But yeah, the whole thing is that myself as someone who is fairly left-leaning, I prefer to hang out with leftists, but so long as the right-winger isn't full on, Trump is amazing, ICE is everything, Schmittler was great, I can tolerate them. So long as they're actually tolerable. Right? I can get beers with someone who's not part of my quote-unquote cult. And not only that, but also a very clear sign of otherization is the fact that when you call them out for being a cult, they will say, "Oh, but I'm not the one in the cult, you are." Very clear projection and trying to pin the blame on on everyone else. We even saw that with Guitarist trying to say, "Oh, but under your definition, everyone would follow as a cult." Hold. The last thing that someone mentioned was the last thing that someone mentioned was like the very noticeable uniforms. Oftentimes, cultists will dress similarly. They will act similarly. They will be conditioned to basically be extensions of the leader. You see this all the time. There's the reason why we call them red hats, because they always wear those gaudy, disgusting red caps with the
Red coats.
yeah. The whole thing of you might say, oh, but then what about the LGBT community? You mean the community that allows for self-expression? You mean the community that allows for self-expression, where you go to a community like that and everyone is dressing different and wearing different clothing?
And has a different sexuality and gender identity.
Exactly. They're allowed to express that they're allowed to express that however he choose to fit. I once met up to an LGBT youth meetup. Don't worry, I was 17 when I did this. Here's where I might have gone just wearing like jeans and a hoodie, but there was someone that went there in full like scene outfits. Person I went with was in a cottagecore kind of outfit. There was definitely some people who were like running around in footy gear, and also there was a golf from memory.
All right, bye, Jess.
Yeah. It says that this person beneath me is a recent viewer.
He's a mutual of mine. He's fine.
Hey, hi. Heyo.
Hey, Cajun.
I was trying to press the button. My hands are wet.
Now, the great thing about cults is the fact that they usually do not last once the leader is gone. What will happen? Oh yeah, another thing too that cults like to do is they like to otherize people who left them. Another reason why Christianity is a cult. Because the whole thing of if you left our cult, then you're never part of the cult in the first place. His is very clear. The whole thing is it's supposed to make it hard to leave the cult, because I'm saying cult way too much, but it's supposed to make it hard to leave the cult because, well, if you turn your back on the cult, you will lose all your connection and all your friends, and you'll be back to square one. Right?
Hence where the word apostate comes from.
Exactly. So, the MAGA movement meets all of those criteria. Trump built the MAGA movement around him, and without Trump, there is no MAGA movement. Hint: they otherize and isolate their members. Oftentimes, they do this simply by just telling people that your loved ones are gonna say that this is outrageous and wrong, and you shouldn't believe them and listen to them. And then what ends up happening is, that happens. And who would you, as a sane, rational person, what would you do as a sane, rational person? Would you choose to, actively go to his place? Would you actively choose to go to someone who genuinely believes that you don't deserve rights, even if they're your own family? Or would you distance yourself because it's not worth it? Right? Us on the left, we don't want you to isolate yourself we don't want to hit you from your parents. We just say, hey, if worse comes to worse, you don't need them.
Yeah.
That-
You say you can say that.
Pardon? What was that?
Then they'll say they said you'd say something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But not only that, but also MAGA likes to otherize the people out of the cult. You can see it. Trump often says his left wing lunatics, or who calling Antifa fascists when dog that literally means anti-fascist.
Oh, hey, someone's requesting up.
Ooh. Hello, Miguel. Agent pronouns,
Panel
please.
literally when I joined. No, I was just gonna ask what the flag was. That's it.
Okay, first agent pronouns, please.
18.
And pronouns, please.
He, him.
Cool, thank you. So which flag are we talking about?
I think the one in my profile picture. It's asexual, aromantic. I feel little to no sexual attraction or romantic attraction.
Oh, I thought the asexual flag was something else.
Yeah, so it's the asexual and aromantic flags are different, but that's just a flag for people who are both aroace.
Yeah, because like I thought the thing was like black and white. No,
What?
wasn't like the asexual flag like black and white?
No, black
Or am
and
I
white
just-
one is supposed to be the like crappy straight pride flag, despite the fact
Oh
we
no,
don't
it's
need
purple.
one.
My bad.
Yeah, there was the asexual flag had purple on it.
So
It was supposed.
there's a little bit of purple down at the bottom there. So this flag represents them both ace and aromantic,
Yeah.
So it's a mix of both the aromantic and the asexual flags.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree with the prompt though.
Nice.
Nice. And here I was thinking I had to drop you.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
But-
I mean, you just can't deny it. It's insane. Like, it's just right in our faces. You just can't
Yeah.
deny it. Literally, someone got shot, and they're like, "Nah, bro, he didn't get shot." And
Yeah.
the gun, it's just they're just making excuses for everything.
Yep.
This flag I've got here is actually the one that's supposed to represent me more than the one I've got in my name.
Yeah. He left, by the way. But he was
damn it.
cool. He was cool.
He was cool. But yeah, this flag is one I made. It's for my gender, which is femme fluid.
Nice.
It's supposed to be a case of like a form of gender fluid, except I rarely, if ever, mask. I'm always either femme or andro. Yeah.
Nice.
I do have an alternate version of this one that's for mask fluid. It's the exact same, but you're rarely ever femme. You're either mask or andro. And I've had someone try to say that doesn't that make you bigender? But no, bigender is I have two that I fluctuate between. I can be anywhere between femme and andro.
Right. Hey, by the
Like-
way, lady, just because you're newly a mod, if we get a third friendly up here, just a heads up for whenever if that happens, that will be the most friendlies.
Cool. 3 friendlies, got it.
Yeah, for 3 friendlies at a time, and then at most 3 ops. Because I want to keep. That's why I have 6 boxes. I want to keep it somewhat fair.
Yeah.
They're just letting you know because you're new to the
Yeah,
market.
fair enough. I should honestly go live myself.
Do you have
Well, not
live
now
now?
because I should go live myself. I don't know how to set up the whole debate stuff thing, and I don't particularly feel comfortable streaming for a bit to get to debate lives.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I know some people who are like I know a guy who's like not willing to go live because he's like kind of scared to put himself and his family like at risk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Me personally, I'm pretty confident that I'm not gonna get doxxed or anything.
Mm. I've already had one person try to dox me anyway, so that was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, the full story is I I have a friend on here named Moonlight Tomorrow, and he got into a bit of a debate with someone over whether or not flag burning should be respected or not. Basically, should flag burning be protected or should it be illegal? Because I can see the reason for both. One side says that it's a form of free speech. One side says that flag burning is a form of free speech that is allowed to, that, it does tell people where you stand. And right? Whereas the other side says, like, oh, it's disrespectful to the country, and also it's a safety hazard. Which, yeah, it is a safety hazard.
I'm
My
listening. I'm listening. I'm just out of the app.
yeah, yeah. My stance on flag burning is it should be protected, but also done with safety in mind. Like, for instance, you don't flag burn in your backyard with all your dry hay weeds around, because that is just asking for trouble.
Yep, can't burn nothing back there. Or also like in public or on a sidewalk, I think anything can burn.
JJ8, what the hell do you mean by that?
He's like talking about how the fucking weird rhetoric that says that LGBTQ people are chomos.
I didn't realize that we looked like politicians, bankers, and priests.
Yeah, me neither, but apparently they think that, so
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, my stance on flag burning is that it's okay to do if it's a nation flag. If it's like, it's okay to burn, say, the Australian flag or the American flag or the Israeli flag, Palestinian flag, heck, Nazi flag, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
But flags that represent people, flags like, say, pride flags or Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags, kegs and stuff, and flags along those lines, are not to be burnt because those represent people. At that point, that's hate speech. At that point, burning flags that represent people is hate speech because you're saying that you disagree with the existence of the people. Whereas, is this person trying to suggest that I should come home to? I'm inviting this guy. Inviting this guy.
By the way, I fully support burning the flag. I see that I believe it falls under the First Amendment. It was ruled in America. It was ruled in a 1989 court case that it fell under the First Amendment.
But yeah, buddy, stop flirting with me. I'm inviting you up because I want to talk to you. I have a partner and a girlfriend. But yeah. The whole thing is like,
are the partner and the girlfriend the same person, or are you poly?
no, I'm poly.
Oh, okay, cool. Just wondering.
So, are you gonna come up here so we can talk, or are you just gonna be a keyboard warrior?
Okay, he's a fucking Zionist. He's a Zionist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could have gathered that from, glory to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, I
Choose
didn't.
your life, brother.
I didn't
I
see
did.
that.
First off, not a brother. I'm a sister. And second, I did choose my life. I chose to embrace the woman I was rather than live as. I chose to live as the woman I was rather than pretend to be the man I'm not.
No, she didn't
What?
choose her identity. That goes against what she just said. She said that she was that the whole time and chose to live that.
Embrace it. I chose to embrace it.
Yes, to embrace the identity that you already had.
So the way it works is this. I understood in the back of my mind that I wasn't a boy. I was supposed to be a girl. But that for some reason I was born a boy. And now, in the year of his Dark Lord 2026, he choose to dress in a more feminine, androgynous way. I choose to take on a feminine name and use she, her, they, them pronouns. And I also seek to go on HRT, or hormone replacement therapy. The thing is, though, is I didn't imagine myself to be a girl. I was a girl, trapped in a boy's body. And now, since I'm an adult, and it literally doesn't hurt anyone for me to do this, I am taking the necessary steps to try and make my body match my brain. Those necessary steps is dressing feminine to androgynously, is keeping myself clean shaven so that way I look more feminine, taking on a girl's name, taking on the female name of Lily, using she, her, they, them pronouns, and eventually going on to hormone replacement therapy, or HRT for short.
Hey, name reveal.
Yes, name reveal. Now, I'm going to tell you this. You can try and guess at my dead name all you want. I honestly do not give a shit. But a lot of people think that my dead name is Liam. That couldn't be further from the truth.
I would have assumed like Landon or something like
Nope.
that. But I'm
Nope.
not gonna guess further than that because it's disrespectful as fuck.
Nope. That was the name of my best friend, but nope,
Oh
not
damn,
me.
I was close then.
No, not you. The guy
Oh,
in the
Zach.
comments.
Oh, Zach. Yeah. Also,
I'll give
how
you a
did
hint.
how did
I'll
he
give
get
you a hint.
how did he get Zach from Louis?
No, because the thing is, my current name sounds nothing like my dead name.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you were gonna say something. I interrupted you.
I was just gonna say that my dead name starts with the letter A.
To start with two A's.
My actual name is Lily. Because that is the name I go by. Ooh, no. You were closer with your first guess. Yeah, you're getting colder now. No.
I think I know it, but I'm not gonna say it because I find it kind of.
I couldn't give two shits. I view that part of my life as someone else. Adderall?
Is it Adam?
No.
Ah, damn it. Oh well.
Okay, I'll give you two more hints. My name consists of 3 vowels and 2 consonants. Yeah, my dead name consists of 2 vowels and 3 consonants. Other way around, 2 consonants and 3 vowels. And it has no repeating letters. So, for instance, you know how some names like Lily have Lily? Yeah, I got no repeating letters.
Nope, you gotta guess, JJ.
Yeah, you gotta guess, JJ. So, 5 letters, 3 vowels, 2 consonants,
It's
no
not
repeating.
gonna be. It's not gonna be Ariel. That's a girl's name. She was. It's gonna be a boy's name, JJ.
Yeah, I was born a boy.
God damn it! Pay attention.
I have never met a guy named Ariel. Or at least a guy
technically,
named
yes.
Ariel.
A guy can be named Ariel, but it is a feminine name, and if a guy is named Ariel, that's because his parents hated him.
Exactly.
It's one of the Ariel Brotherhood.
What even is that name?
I've never heard that name before.
Never heard that name before.
Is he using like foreign names that are from like other countries that aren't like Australia and America?
No, that's not the game. The game is to guess my dead name. You have to guess it. I have given you all the hints you need. Do you
Listen,
need me to go over the hints?
Here's what you do: is you just go to the. Hold on, I'm gonna sweep you up. All right, that's 3 friendlies. This is where we stop it with the friendly.
Okay.
I was gonna say, here's what you do: you go find if your mom's around, she should have like a baby name book. You go through there, you fucking flip to the boys' names, and you go down the list.
And you find a name that fits the criteria. Starts with the letter A, has 3 vowels and 2 consonants. Hence.
I promise you,
And no repeating
I
letters.
promise you, no matter what, if your mom is anything like my mom, she has that book on standby, waiting for grandkids to help her children.
Hi, Sleepy.
Hi,
Well,
I'm now getting
yeah.
in on the guessing game because it's like Wordle.
Well,
Okay, so it starts with A.
well, it depends how
Ooh, he's
uncomfortable
close, but that has repeating letters.
they're guessing. This guy down here is a transphobe and is guessing lady's dead name. Actually, so it depends how comfortable are you with participating in this game, Sleepy.
I honestly couldn't give.
Are you fine with it?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
the one encouraging him to do it.
Then yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. If they're fine with me guessing, then I will guess.
Okay, cool. So
it starts with an A, has 3 vowels,
starts
2
with-
consonants.
yeah, 3 vowels, 2 consonants, no repeating letters, which is
Got
like
it.
no. Yeah, so it's like unlike my name Lily that has. Oh fuck! The guy got it.
Aiden.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, damn, that was quick. Sorry,
That was
Sleepy.
fast.
Good, Sleepy. Good
That's
game.
fine. Good game.
Now,
Listen to me.
I bet you this transphobe is going to refer to me as Aiden the entire time, and guess what? Yeah, and guess what? I can't give 2 shits. Aiden was some other kid that just disappeared when I came into being.
Oh, wait, he's just saying it over and over again,
He's just saying
like
it
a child.
over and over.
Hey, this is the Coldplay.
Yeah, he's just saying it like a child. He's not even like gonna say, So Aiden, why were you indoctrinated or whatever?
Like a fucking middle
It's
school.
wordplay.
He's a middle school bully.
You gotta be like, where did Daniel meet the lions?
All right, hold on. We might have an op here. I'm
Ooh,
pretty sure.
op.
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, Asian pronouns, please.
26, he, him.
There we go. And do you agree with the prompt?
No. So what would be your justification for ICE being fascist?
All right, who wants to take this one?
If you want to, you can.
Okay, but Rez, you're gonna need to get the definition of fascism up.
Oh, right, yeah. I got it. Here it is. No, wait, no, that's not it. That's from a religious live I was in earlier.
Lol.
That's it.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, fascism, a populist political philosophy, movement, or regime such as the fascisti that exults? Is that what it said?
Exalts.
Exalts nation and often race above the individual, that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader that is characterized by severe economic, social regimentation and by a forcible suppression of opposition.
All right. So how is ICE populist?
So ICE would be the equivalent to the SS or the Gestapo. They're the secret police.
No, they
go
would not.
around.
Yes, they would.
Yes, they would.
All right.
Their whole
So
thing is
again,
that they go-
how would they be populist?
We just walked you through this.
No, you did not. You just claimed that they were SS, and that's false.
I said they were
So
equivalent
what?
to the
How about
SS.
this? What did the SS do that ICE is doing right now?
Unaliving innocent people.
All right. Who
Unaliving
was
innocent people,
all right? Name
rounding
one
up-
person who was innocent that was unalived.
We're not good.
Renee Nicole Good,
Attack of
Alex
the Other
Preddy.
All right. So let's get to the Renee Good. So her shooting was justified.
No,
How?
it wasn't.
You're gonna get your
Hey,
ass.
you're
yeah,
gonna
so
say
she
shit
tried
like
to-
that,
Make sure you use pew-pewing.
She tried to
people
run
are
over
taken behind the car.
run over an agent. That's a felony, and the
Well,
car
you
becomes
can't
a deadly
play the car.
weapon.
Car's
Okay,
being lane,
hang
you're
on,
lane.
Guys,
It's pathetic.
guys. Keep this somewhat
First off,
Yeah. So the
we're
car
gonna talk
becomes a
slow-
deadly weapon when you try to use it as such.
First off, we're going to talk slowly and we're going to go point by point.
So you want me to slow it down for you?
I know how you maggots work. You say a whole bunch of shit first and interject. That's the word I was looking for. So that way you guys can keep control of the conversation. So we're gonna keep.
All right. How about
go
this?
slow.
I'm talking monkey. All right. Monkey drive car into agent. Agent shoots monkey. Monkey dead. Monkey unalive.
So, if you actually
that's illegal.
look at the video footage that the ICE officer recorded, the one that had shot Renee Nicole Good, you can see she is turning her car away from the ICE officers.
False.
The ICE officer yes, that is true.
I watched the body cam. It's false.
Just
So-
Oh wait, hold on. I'm supposed to slow it down for you.
First off, it wasn't body cam. He
I'm
pulled out
sorry.
his phone
I'm
to
sorry. I have to
record.
slow it down for you. Agent had body cam of
All right,
monkey
dude,
trying to
dude.
hit her.
That's it. You're being disrespectful as fuck.
Agent stood in front of the
Yeah,
car.
when I say slow it down, the reason why is because maggots like to try and control the conversation. We go one at a time. You don't need to use monkey speak as you called it. You just need to give 1 point at a time. And no, they didn't run. We dropped them because they were being disrespectful. Anyway, there's someone here named Hot Dog. Let's give them a try.
Yeah, sure.
Bring up the original prompt, please.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Disingenuous.
It took you guys long enough to realize peaceful protests aren't going to work anymore.
Yeah, I was like in denial. I was like, but I've been.
Okay,
right-
this hot dog guy. I accepted his request and he didn't come up.
It means that it means that he scrolled out the live and was disinterested because they're impatient. They can't wait just like a little bit. Just
Anyway,
wait a
the
second.
The Honest Trump guy is requesting again. Honest Trump, if you can hear me, please put in the comments that you agree to go 1 point at a time and be respectful to the other panelists up here.
Oh, by the way, that religious thing I brought up is it was in reference to how it's written in Leviticus that Jesus was actually pro immigration.
Honestly, you'd be hard pressed to find a religion that should you'd be hard pressed to find a religion I believe should exist in the modern day.
I think
I
Like the
I think in
the on-
general, pagans are pretty okay, and Buddhists.
I personally support the ideals of Mehrunes Dagon.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a little One Piece.
Skyrim dragon god of chaos and motion and randomness.
But yeah, like I think the only two that I think are alright is, I think they're called pescatarians. They worship the spaghetti monster because that one's literally a joke.
Yeah.
But
And then there's also Buddhism, because that one says, hey, everyone's journey to enlightenment is different.
You don't like the pagans, or at least some of the pagans.
Not too familiar on pagans, and a lot of times people who claim that they are pagans are just using it to be like right-wing trash. Yes, we're gonna let you up.
They probably are.
That's for Norse pagans
Yeah.
usually.
Alright, good night.
Mom's jeans. Asian pronouns, please.
Alright, I'm a dude, I'm a he, him, and I'm 21.
Cool, thank you. And thoughts on the prompt?
Alright, see, I'm not necessarily pro-ICE, but I'm on their side about a lot of things, right? Like,
Okay.
I do believe if you cross into the country illegally, right, you should be punished. I do not believe, though, that you should be going into schools. But deporting anybody who is an illegal immigrant is completely understandable. You know, I don't like
Okay,
the
hang on. I'm gonna
deportation
stop you there.
centers
I'm
and
gonna
so on
stop
and
you
so
right there.
forth.
I'm gonna stop you right there. So, what qualifies as an illegal immigrant in your mind?
Someone who crossed the border illegally. If you were born in the U.S., you should have U.S. Citizenship. Fuck me, I can't speak English.
Okay, again, I'm gonna ask because that was a circular definition.
How was that a circular definition?
Because you're saying that illegal immigrants are people who immigrated into the country illegally. You can see how that's a circular definition?
No, not at all. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. If you come to the country without U.S. documents or a green card or a fucking visa or work visa at the minimum, right, you should be prosecuted for that, because I expect if I cross the Canadian border right now and I did not have any documents to be there, right, I am not meant to be there. I would be prosecuted, and that is just, it clicks, you know?
okay, then
See, now that's a proper definition.
okay, Mo.
I
Saying
said that beforehand.
no,
Mind
you
if
said
I-
that you said that illegal immigrants were people who immigrated to the country illegally. You then
That's
further
basically what I
defined
just
what
said.
it means to immigrate into the country illegally, and therefore it is no longer a circular definition.
All right, let's
Anyway.
move on. So, is there
Anyway,
any
so
conflict?
no, my turn. So, the whole thing of you believe that people who come into the country without any form of documentation is bad. So let's just pose a hypothetical of a bunch of people on a boat, and they
I didn't
come
say it
in.
was bad.
Hang on, a bunch of people on a boat, and they come in. They kick out all the people who were living there, and anyone who stands up to them, he threaten with violence and pew-pews. And they go, and they don't even assimilate to the existing culture. They bring their own culture. Would
Well,
that
that's
be
guilty
bad?
by association?
Cool. You just agreed that colonialism is bad. Thank you very much.
Oh, you
Okay.
really got me there. That's not colonialism. Bud.
Okay, mind if I do a hypothetical with you?
I mean,
Sure.
yeah, 1 second.
Let's say you try.
What Lady just described is how America was founded. All right, Sweepy, go ahead.
Let's say you tried
Alright.
to go to Canada or any other country for that matter, try to become a legal citizen. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say you spent $10,000 and had to wait 14 years to get a green card and to be able to get there. You get there. You get ready. You do your interview. and then you just get rejected. Not even
If you had
because
your
you're a
green
bad
card, you
person.
could already come in.
Just because you
That
don't
makes
get your
no
green
sense.
card. You don't get your green card yet. No. I didn't say anything about you getting your green card. I said you have your.
You literally just said you get your
No,
green
no.
card, you pay your
I said you
2,000,
applied for it. You waited 14 years for this chance, and you spent $10,000 for this, and you're now getting an interview to see if you're allowed in this country. You have a good
Mhm.
background. You answer all of their questions honestly, and they see that you're a good man, but their beliefs don't align with yours. Well, your beliefs don't align with theirs, so they just reject you and force you back home.
There's no situation, right? This is America. The
Wrong.
land of
There
the
is
free.
Pakistan. Please try again. Don't make false claims.
Well, that's Pakistan. Also in Iran, they throw gay people off of buildings, all right? And also in
No.
But we're talking about the US.
Pakistan's trying to immigrate here to the U.S.
Well, if they do it legally, I have no problem with it.
No,
I don't
no.
hate any
But what he
specific
just
race.
described
He
was
did.
spending 14 years of your life to do it legally, only
Yes.
for one
That's-
random thing that you said to get you denied.
Also, you wouldn't be spending 10 grand on it, but that's just the way it is.
No,
I
that's
can't
literally
control the
what someone
system,
did.
But it doesn't give you right of passage to come into a country illegally.
That
Alright?
is literally
But the
what
thing
someone
is,
did to get
what
out.
he just said was that the legal method is a bureaucratic nightmare.
Well,
You're really
okay,
going to
that
you're
doesn't
really
mean-
going to tell a single mother fleeing a war-torn country, you got to do this. You got to do this legally, or you can't come.
Okay, see, that is a predicament, right? I would definitely call it a predicament, but I don't believe under any circumstances you should break the law, especially for entering a different country.
That's a
In those
really
circumstances,
bad
you
Hang on,
mindset.
wait. You don't think
Okay,
under any
it depends on
circumstances you
certain
should break the
situations.
law?
Okay, let me correct myself before you guys talk. If someone like molested, or I can't say that, did something horrible to your kid, right? I'm killing him, right? There's no other way around it. There's
Well,
certain laws
unaliving.
in certain situations, like where it's okay to break the law. But if you're coming to a country illegally, you're gonna get deported. That's just as simple as it is.
You think
It's
those two teams are alike?
Cause and effect.
Okay, now you are aware that there was an ICE raid on people who were doing their swearing-in ceremony, i.e., the last step you need to do before you become a legal US citizen, and ICE came in and detained them? I.e., they had done everything legally up to that point and were not a US citizen because they were literally becoming one that day, and ICE came in and deported them.
Okay, well, where are you getting this information from? Because I have a feeling that they got, if this is a real situation, right? I have a feeling that they got out of that situation pretty quick, realizing, all right.
But can you acknowledge that that is inherently going against the whole we're rounding up the ones who are here illegally thing, since those guys were there legally?
Well, mistakes happen in communication, you know. There's a long line of chain of command, especially in the federal agencies, right? And mistakes happen. That's just how it is. But you know, you gotta sift through it. You know, it's like
Okay,
it's
but
like when you're a
mistakes
kid, you have
happen
those
is
little
for
sand sifters, right? You have to get the big rocks out.
Okay, but mistakes happen is for stuff like, hey, this house isn't going to be completed on time, or this road that was supposed to be fixed didn't end up getting fixed. Not for, hey, by the way, we have just completely uprooted your life for no other reason than because, well, we're the government.
Well, you're trying to get into our country. Follow the rules. I mean, and as this guy
Even
said,
if
I'm a
they
Latino
follow
immigrant.
But the thing
There's
is, they
no
were
less.
doing
Trust
it
me, it's not that
legally.
difficult to do it legally. A
But
guy
they were
immigrated
doing it
literally
legally.
said. Hey,
And there's a lot of
did any
difficulties
of
through it.
you
There's a
legally
lot of
immigrate?
stories.
Did any of you legally or illegally immigrate?
I'm not
No.
even from the US.
Okay, so then why are you talking on a policy that you are not even in the country for?
Because we care about people.
Because because I care about people, because I have a thing called empathy, and because my country is deeply connected with the US. What happens there happens here.
Okay, well, I don't really believe that's how that works. It's a completely different
It's like
country.
we
but-
affect each other more.
Oh, I didn't realize you were an expert in Australian politics.
Australia, whatever happens here happens there. No. Don't you fucking pull that
Yes.
card. Don't you
affect
pull
each other.
that card.
Here, let lady explain how.
It's frustrating, Carl.
Okay, so you are aware that in our most recent election, there was a politician that was running on Trump-style politics, something that would have never happened if, Trump didn't come into office.
And how is that my problem?
I'm saying what happens in the US affects Australia. Not to mention that Australia
y'all
is
are-
a US Australia is a US ally. If the US picks a fight with, I don't know, let's say Russia, Australia has to get involved. That's part of our agreement.
Yeah, that's United Nations.
And no, not United Nations. Our thing is special. Our thing is weird and unique. And not only that, but also United Nations doesn't have the ability to do that.
All right,
So-
bro. I'm gonna just. All right, bro.
But
There's
here
no
I
point
am
arguing
saying
because you're
that
just gonna beat around the bush. All right, just because someone. No. I let you
I wasn't finished.
let you
Here I
talk.
was.
All right.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
I will-
fucking keep muting me over some stupid shit.
I wasn't finished. So
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of my turn to talk now. All right.
But if
I wasn't
if
finished.
listen, if she wasn't finished, then it's not your turn to talk by definition.
By definition,
By the
Okay.
definition of how a conversation works.
I can smell the fucking cat piss through your mic, bud. Just pipe down, all right. And lady,
Okay, well,
And
that's
you
you're a
wanna-
wannabe
well,
American.
that's how you get your
Stuff.
right.
I am not a
to talk.
wannabe American. I would never want to be an American. I want
That's-
Australia to stop being. I want
That's
America
how
to
you
stop being
lose
allies
your-
with the US.
That's how you
I wanna
lose your
go to
right. That's how
Ireland.
you lose your right to talk in my space.
Yeah, you disrespect resident or any of resident's friends, you get dropped. It's simple as that. Right? And also, it's not too hard to shut the fuck up when someone said I wasn't finished. Anyway, with what I was talking about. Not only does American style politics end up finding its way here into Australia because of the US, but also if the US, because of the nature of the Australia and the US's alliance, if the US gets itself into a war with another country, Australia has to follow. We did that with Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, and who else? I can't remember who else. Yeah. But not only that, also, US politics is hyper blasted into Australia. The guy who owns the Fox network in America also owns 60% of the Australian media.
Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch owns 60% of Australian media, with the other 40%, with 20 of that remaining 40% being government owned, like the ABC, not your ABC. Which would also cover US politics, and the other 20% being more locally owned, like radio stations for Melbourne. Right? What happens in the US gets hyper blasted. Yeah, what happens in the US gets hyper blasted here into Australia.
Jasper down in the chat just explained it best. Australia is like the big brother sighing to reluctantly help the hothead little brother US.
Would it be like that? It's more like the US is Australia's abusive step parent, I should say.
That might be it. Yeah, actually, abusive step brother, I think works best. I mean, you only exist because of us. So yeah.
Existing's overrated.
Okay, first off, we don't exist because of you guys. We're part of the British Empire before, and we got up.
Let me
Well, part-
rephrase. You guys, what I meant was like Australia was only like founded because they didn't have America to put their prisoners anymore.
I guess, but then that's just basic cause and effect, isn't it?
I know, like it's not like we.
Don't
Yeah, of course. We didn't like. It's not like we government sanctioned your fucking country or anything like that. It's not like a direct like thing. They're like you don't directly owe us for existing or anything.
Yeah. The most I can say you guys have done for our continued existence was just during World War II, you guys came in and dealt with the Japanese. But, like, even then, we were more than capable of dealing with the Japanese. You guys just kind of came in and stole the glory.
I mean,
yeah,
we did that because there's like what. All right, I'm gonna get on a
The
tangent.
reason why is because
I'm gonna get on it. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna get on a tangent about this, about how there's this whole thing that people, this idea people have that we got involved to stop the Yahtzees. No, we got involved because because the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and we were like, and it's like, oh, now it's personal. Now it's in our backyard. Now it affects us.
I did accept someone's request.
Lady Pancake, quick question.
Yes.
When are you Australians running it back with the emus? When is round two happening?
Emus. And what was that?
When is round two happening between the Australians and the emus?
Emus.
Emus.
And I don't know. Next time the birds start to throw us into a famine.
Will you win?
Yes. Well. Actually, will we win this time?
You'll use the giant spiders. And
I'm just saying, America would have won. Even
No,
back
you
then.
wouldn't.
Even
You
back
would
then.
to realize it, even though. Come on.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but I cannot illustrate this enough. Emus have bulletproof skin and run at Mark Jesus, and whenever you make a sound, they all scatter.
Not the
Not all the time.
Not the
Because they chase you.
Jesus. That is
You know
They run
who
at
else
whatever speed you're running
You know
at.
who else
just threaten them.
scatters when they get shot at or pew-pewed at is everyone in the opposing army, and yet we won many
Not a bull.
times.
Not a
We
full-time
need
bull.
dice
Okay,
in
hang on.
Italy. Get rid of the niggers, please. Please.
Get the fuck
Send
out.
No. I feel bad for accepting that guy.
That's okay.
That's
You
what
couldn't. That's
what?
okay, dude. You couldn't have known that at all.
What did he say?
But oh my god,
did he
what
say?
is with people? Why do you do that?
What did
What
he
is with
say?
people doing that? Like, oh, he just in like the thickest, fakest Italian accent.
He
just
said, "Get
said,
rid of the N words. Get rid of the N
Oh, that's what he
words."
said? I couldn't understand him.
yeah.
My bad. I wasn't there to listen to him because I was busy committing a cardinal sin.
What?
You viewed a card?
Nowadays, now that I buy my own groceries, I don't have to pour my milk into a cup.
Oh, you're drinking out of the fucking bottle in the carton.
Okay, that honest Trump guy is still requesting.
I know.
And
I know.
I think, do I accept him?
You telling me
Or
I'm not
do I-
lazy?
At least he's patient.
I mean, he was
He's a
being
really good
he was being disrespectful. I doubt he's even still in here. Like, if you accept him, he's not going to join because he's probably scrolled away.
Oh, no. You told me I'm not lazy.
Yeah, he's actually not here anymore. He's not in the viewers.
Wow. I'm down now.
Man.
Yeah. It's just
I wish I
the request stays active even after he scrolls out, even if he doesn't, unless he cancels the request. I was looking for the word there. My brain stopped working.
I both wish I did and didn't go to Australia. I both do and don't wish to go to Australia. On one
Why
side,
is that?
on one side, I want to go there because the economy and government's better than here in America. But on the other side,
Not
okay.
that much
I
better.
can legally bartend in Australia at least.
That's
No, yeah.
I love how all of your I love how everything, all of your beliefs just hinge on your entire all your talking points hinge on I want to bartend.
Yes, that is my entire purpose of living, to eventually bartend.
Why can't you bartend in the US?
Because you have to be 21 and I'm only 18.
Oh, okay.
Which is
It's
weird.
hard.
Which is weird because you don't have to drink to
No,
bartend.
no. It's weird
Yeah,
because
but
I'm
the
a
whole
certified.
thing is that you're supposed to handle alcohol.
It's weird because I'm a certified bartender.
Well, yeah, but also if you're 18, you're an adult, which is why I'm a very big advocate for lowering the drinking age from 21 to 18, because you're already an adult. You can go to war and possibly unalive in a foreign country at 18. The least they can do is let you have a drink.
Yeah, the whole thing is it's like you turn 18, you're an adult, you're responsible for deciding the fate of the country, going to war, and working a 9 to 5, but yet you're not old enough to handle your drink.
America is the only fucking country on earth where the legal drinking age is at 21.
Yeah, most places have the legal drinking age as 18, and there are some places that have it at either 16 or 15.
Yeah, bro. I just want to bartend. I want to start working. I want to start making the big bucks. And the only real reason why I'm afraid of going to Australia is because I don't want to get abducted by one of your big spiders.
Fair enough.
A clamel spider.
I saw a video of a fucking. Video of a kangaroo, holding a dog by the throat and trying to drown it in a river.
Oh yeah, they do that. Yeah,
I'm sorry, but Lady Pancake, I'm a bit afraid. I'm a bit afraid of the wildlife there and how it would try to unalive me relentlessly.
Australia is one of those countries where every living thing is trying to unalive you at all times.
Wolf Creek.
Why have there
It's not even the spiders or the snakes or the birds that will get you. It's the fucking druggos on the Frankston line that will get you.
Yeah, by the way, the Australian outback is the perfect setting for a Far Cry game, and it blows my mind that has not happened yet.
Oh my god, you are so correct. It is the perfect. Well, okay, I'm both glad and not glad that they don't do that, because the Australian outback, no games ever do Australia right. It's either, oh my gosh, it's desert and spiders and snakes and all that kind of stuff, or it's like a hodgepodge of all the different environments that make no sense.
I would ask that you play Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
I don't think that you guys have snow in Australia.
We have
not much.
We have snow, but it's in particular areas like the mountains.
Yeah, I know for a fact they have snow there.
Mm-hmm.
But
it sucks though, because you have to actually go to the mountains to see snow. So I've never in my life seen snow.
Well, I mean, it's a continent. It's a continent, so there are.
We've got people. We got someone requesting up.
Before that, it's a continent, so there's different
hello
biospheres.
Hello.
Hi, age and pronouns, please.
I'm 25. He, him.
There we go. And do you agree with the prompt?
Well, yeah. Enough is enough. We need to get all these illegal immigrants out of our country ASAP.
Oh. Okay.
You're right.
So-
Enough is enough. We need to get all these piggies rounded up and out of our country.
Well, as long as the illegals go, I don't care.
Okay, so what constitutes an illegal immigrant for you?
Someone who's not here with no genetic lineage or no proper documentation for a workforce or like being a part of a business or a school.
So if a bunch of people that never set foot in the US came on a boat and pushed all of like the people who were living in the area they landed on out of their homes, and anyone who stood up to them they threatened with violence and pew-pews, would that be bad?
Well, now you're stepping into the territory where you're talking about
It's just a simple
sovereignty.
yes or no question. Would that be bad?
Well, I'm gonna answer your question here. So you're talking about sovereignty. So sovereignty,
Again, simple yes or no. It's a simple yes or no.
yes, it's okay because sovereignty is not a
So
guaranteed
what's the
right.
difference between that and illegal immigrants?
Because it's not a true natural overtaking of a position or power.
So,
But-
if we just destroy the order that you guys have set up, we can just do whatever we want. Then it's fine.
Technically,
They can
yeah,
come
but
in
you're
life,
you're like a
right?
fat kid with no training.
Oh, okay.
So
So you said yes. Okay, great.
technically, yeah, but you're not gonna
Cool,
go up
so-
against the greatest military in the United
No,
States.
I most certainly would. Please do not underestimate my Irish lineage.
Bro.
You're known for hating oppression.
Bro, you can get 100,000 people, you'd still lose.
I
yeah,
have
despite the
Irish.
fact-
I have Irish and Scottish.
Bro,
Indeed.
y'all sound like a bunch of FAGs, so I'll leave it there.
I cannot spell retard.
Oh, okay. I know what you're trying to say, and you can go
Well, I
away
didn't
now.
wanna
We
say it
don't
for
accept
TikTok.
slurs. We don't accept slurs. Anyway, Laxter, hi. Age of
Do I gotta
pronouns,
say
please.
my age?
Yeah.
You gotta say your age, gotta say your pronouns.
18, and he him.
Okay, cool. And do you agree with the prompt?
I like. I'll explain this, right? I agree that overall, like peaceful in this circumstance, like the circumstances where like the country is, I don't think that is like I don't think it's gonna make him like a difference, you know. I guess that like everything that just like happened like recently with like the Epstein files and like all like the protests and all, I feel like it's pretty like horrible, you know. Like
I'm so sorry, hun, but we've got enough friendlies up here.
what does that mean though?
What that means
So-
is you're going to be dropped, but we thank you for your support, even if it's quietly from the background.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, resident here wants to have 3 friendlies and 3 ops, and unfortunately, we've already got 3 friendlies, and you are not an
Yo.
op.
Oh,
Drop
like
down, yo.
no, I don't understand, but I will say this.
Yo, I'm
Like,
saying,
I don't. I might be like a little bit of an op, because it's not that I
Okay,
don't
never
like.
mind, you can
but
stay.
I don't agree with like illegal immigrants. Like
Okay, so what constitutes an illegal immigrant for you?
yeah, I'll tell you right now. Like, and I truly understand. Like, I just feel like a little bit of like context, right? I'm Hispanic, and I don't want to say like because I'm Hispanic, I know everything or whatever, or like about illegals, because there's a lot of like illegals in the country that are not Hispanic. But I'll tell you like this side, like from this side, like truly, it's really harsh, like to see people that like work construction and all. Like I've worked construction myself, and a lot of the people, like 50% of the people in the job site, like are not, they don't have papers and all. But I feel like the government shouldn't like I think they have the right, even though they're like doing like a greater good, but they should also like give the opportunity to like get papers, which have a lot of people have like they got papers back when like Biden was like in office or whatever. But also, like I gotta like agree, a lot of like illegals that like for example, like in like that, like South Texas, they're pretty like aggressive, and
So,
most of the people
hun,
committing crimes. I don't like just saying.
first off, of the people who come here, quote unquote, illegally, often do so because they're fleeing for a better life. Why they
Yeah,
go to the US, I have no idea, but they're fleeing for a better life.
Because we have such
Either,
good positive propaganda surrounding us that we've basically convinced the media that we are perfection.
yeah. Second off, the whole thing of, oh, why is it that the illegals seem to get all the jobs and the natural born citizens don't? It's because capitalism. Under capitalism, well, you want to try and earn as much money as possible, and you don't technically have to pay illegal immigrants, hence minimum wage, since they're not citizens, and you can
Mhm.
get away with paying them less. And then that feeds into the next thing about why is it that illegal immigrants often do crime? It's the same reason why people of color do crime. It's because when you're poor, you're desperate, and when you're desperate, well, legality be damned.
Many things
Yeah.
game whenever you're desperate enough for it.
Yeah, I understand. Like that's pretty sad. Like, and that's true. Like, the most crime that I've seen, it's coming from like people who are like in poverty. But I'll tell you though, because like I've seen it. I mean, I guess that because like the city I live in, it literally borders Mexico. All my family like has just, well, originally like all of us like come from over there, but all of us gotta like our papers together and stuff. And I was lucky enough to be like born over there like born over there, born here, and stuff, and get like my citizenship like clean, you know. But it's like,
Yeah.
I
And
like
then also,
I do. Uh-huh.
yeah, also when it comes to ICE, a lot of the times they're not actually detaining people who are illegal. They're detaining people who have.
They're detaining people who don't look white, essentially. If you don't look
Yeah.
like you belong within the majority, you will be cast out purely based off your skin tone. Birthright citizenship, rights be damned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been detained by ICE because
I'm
like there
deeply
was like a
sorry for that.
like no it like it's fine, like the end of the day, like, and it was because, I mean, I'm not saying like I look white, but I don't look like my skin is not fully like brownish. I'm like a tan,
You're
you know.
mixed.
Yeah,
But
well,
the thing
mestizo.
is
All of
that
us are like,
you
yeah,
are a legal
mestizo.
citizen.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
am,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I didn't
you're a
have any
legal citizen
problems.
who's being detained by ICE based on based on your skin color and accent. That is wrong.
Yeah, you can say like it's wrong, but it's also wrong to like just like, it might sound really like kind of harsh, but it's also wrong to like go to another country illegally. I think that's also wrong. Like,
Again, we've said
Well,
that
think of it
oftentimes
this way.
people.
Think of it this way. Imagine this. Imagine if you and your family were trying to immigrate here. You paid $10,000 and had to wait 14 years just so that way then you could have a shot at an interview. But then whenever you get there, you say one wrong thing. Let's say, for example, you tell the people that are interviewing you that you're not Christian and your entire family gets denied citizenship. Would you just be fine going back to Mexico, even if, or anywhere else in the world? Or would you try to get back into the United States however you can to try to find a better life?
I'll be like, if that will like happen to me, you know, God forbid, whatever. But that will be really like, that will be truly like sad, you know. But I'll just say, and Like I don't know if you guys are like familiar like with the situation of like Mexico, for example, but Mexican people like don't really like we truly well not we I because I can't say, but like let's say my friends who still live over there, like they don't like it over there because of the you know the government is corrupt, the cartels are like
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
everything. It's like
So, wouldn't you want to try and go to a place that's quote unquote better?
yeah, but the thing here is that the U.S. government, it's not their like they at the end of the day they decide they don't have to like keep bringing people in. They don't have to. If they don't want to, they don't have to. Like
It's not even the government. It's just a random person who interviews you and decides if you allowed in or not.
Yeah.
okay, well yeah, that person like at the end of the day he has the like the authority like that's still I don't think that still has to like you know I still don't feel like that's right. Let's say for like I don't know my auntie who had to wait like let's say those 14 years, and then some other person like crosses the Rio Grande river and he's already like here, and like I don't feel like that's like right, you know, for like my auntie who's like been waiting, or
Yeah,
my
it's not right.
you know
That's why
just
people,
saying.
That's why people try to cross over in less than authorized ways because they need to get a better life and they don't want to be shut out by something as benign and insignificant as someone being racist.
Okay.
If it's a shot at a better life, you should take it. That's kind of the entire point of this life. We're not trying to. We're not only looking for ops. We're looking to try to get out the narrative that peace talk is over. We're done trying to play the nice game. We're done trying to just negotiate. We're going to take action, and there is going to be fire, and there is going to be casualties. But that's how you get change. That's how you get a better tomorrow. You make sacrifices and you take risks because you see a better tomorrow somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. But that tomorrow, I don't think it's beneficial for like our tomorrow to have people who like let's say for example, an illegal is like a criminal, right? I'm not gonna say Mexican or whatever, but just an illegal. He's a criminal and he has like criminal records. And there's another illegal, but this illegal like they know that he has been like working, let's say in like someplace for like the past 4 years. I still feel like that illegal that has done like crimes and all should get deported. But maybe that illegal that has been doing work,
Yeah,
he should get like
obviously,
a like
you-
on probation
I
or something.
believe that they should face legal consequence, yes. But that's because of their crimes, not because of the fact they're illegal.
Hey, hold on a second. Adam, could I get your age and pronouns?
I am 24 years old and I use all the pronouns. You can use all the pronouns.
Use all the
Nice.
pronouns.
All the pronouns.
Any pronouns. Got it.
And your thoughts on the prompt?
Like the concept, you know, enough is enough. No more fascist pigs. I guess, you know, it comes down to a more nuanced conversation of like what steps does that look like? You know what I mean? It's
I can tell. I have an idea of what it looks like, and that's another reason of why I want to be a bartender so badly.
Jesus Christ,
All of the best. All of the best.
Are you thinking of making an anarchist cocktail?
All of the best rebellions in the world all started at a bar. The Revolutionary War, the Civil War, civil rights, all of those ideas started at a bar somewhere in the States.
It's true. It's true. Someone essentially got wasted and started talking unfiltered about what they believed, and then other people heard it and went with it.
So yeah,
That's what it would. That's the first step. Second step, we gather in more and more people, and it's no longer just drunken outbursts. It's something that a lot of people start to agree on. Number three, we start taking to the streets with pew pews, with pokey pokies, with whatever you can get your hands on to make sure you are not only heard but seen, that you become relevant to the story of history, and to make sure that your opinion is also heard, to make sure that
or you doing a
that the
poll.
world knows that there will not be any monsters allowed in this country that do not face persecution for their crimes and injustices.
Yeah. And then step four,
I,
you doing
I
a poll.
love it. I love it. You know, where that's a great step in the right direction. I think
Honestly,
that I think a big part of like what, you know, local organization, that's what it really is going to come down to.
Mhm.
People need to talk to people. They need to organize. They need to have these types of nuanced conversations. It has to stop happening online. You know what I mean? It has to happen in person.
It needs to start happening in person. It needs to be said in bars.
People need to start hosting things and
why
doing
do you
things like that to have these nuanced conversations.
Why do you think that the US is trying to suppress TikTok? Why do you think?
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
If enough people scream, they're gonna have to listen, or it all comes crashing down. Not just the current regime, the entire government.
Mm-hmm. I am terrified to live in this country anymore. I think
trust me.
It's
scary, but it's also exhilarating. It is the time to be alive. These years decides if we make it or break it as a country. It decides where we stand within our own morals.
Look, let's be real. The US is not going to survive Trump. Well, the US, as we know it, is not going to survive Trump. Whether it be a case of you guys transition into full-blown, like, North Korean style whole fascism, where it's like the lineage of Trump will dictate
like
who the next
100 years we're gonna have pictures of his name's Brandon, his youngest son, right?
Yeah.
Baron.
God, Baron, like a land baron. Oh my God!
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Christ Almighty! I thought it was Brandon. Oh my God, no!
No, it's Baron, like the Lord of the Land, a Baron.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh my God, we're gonna be having pictures of that guy in my fucking house, and I have to fucking oh no.
I mean,
yeah,
okay, hear me out. So what if they have you?
No, I wasn't finished saying what I wanted to say.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So, the US, as we know it, is not going to survive Trump. Whether it be like you guys descend into full-blown North Korean fascism, where you idolize your leaders and you don't elect a president, you elect a supreme leader from Alex Trump or Melania Trump. I don't know why those two names came to my head. Or whether or not you guys go into whether or not you guys become the People's Republic of America, you go into socialism and actually be good people. Oh, there's someone here named. Okay, let's try you, Melon.
Because we have the communications for
I disagree with this picture.
Alright, first of all, what's your age and pronoun?
My age is 18. Born 2005.
Why did you? Hang on, no, that's not right.
2005. That doesn't.
No, that's not right.
That's not right.
That's a lie.
I'm 2006 and I'm 20 years old.
Yeah, that'd make you. Yeah, you done fucked up. Kiddo.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, if you want to talk about it in the comments, you're more than welcome to. Why do you disagree with the prompt?
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, the whole thing of so You guys will either go into full-on North Korean fascism, you might become the People's Republic of America and go into like socialism, or even full-on communism, like proper communism, I should say. You guys might end up fracturing into a bunch of different like warring states with each other.
I'd
Or-
push for a direct democracy.
Yeah, or in my opinion, best case scenario, the US just gets subsumed by other countries.
That last one's the least likely, to be honest. It's such a large landmass that that's a very difficult task.
Okay, but that's under the assumption that it's going to be subsumed by one country. Not, there's a whole bunch of land here, let's try and grab it.
Bro.
Yeah.
My family, my ancestors, 5 generations ago, we took a boat and we got to this country off of nothing but potatoes and the belief that someday we will not be suppressed by British heritage loons. But no, you say that those British heritage loons will once again take our land and suppress and repress our culture yet again.
My great-grandfather came from Ireland and had to change his name to a British last name to get work.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Pancake, are you not from the US? Where are you from?
I'm in Australia.
Oh, Australia, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful country, Australia.
Yeah, it's just a shame that our actual fascist group is causing problems. Because yeah, we've got literal fucking Nazis, or the National Socialist Network of Australia, running around causing shit.
And is it legal for that group to exist there? Because I'm like not sure about the rules there, you know.
The whole thing was that they were allowed to exist before, but I think the legality of it was, they were only allowed to exist because people didn't know about them, and then they started causing shit, and surprise, surprise, the Ignots that run it literally threatened the Prime Minister. They threatened to kidnap and unalive the Prime Minister. And now, all of a sudden, every single known member of the NSN have been branded domestic terrorists. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they expected, really.
Oh yeah, it's also really funny, because if you want to know how bad, like, the racism problem is, you want to know how bad the racism problem is, during a very touchy time for us in Australia, depending on which side you're on, you either call the 21st of January Australia Day or Invasion Day. And during the Invasion Day protest, which is just the Aboriginal people saying, hey, can you stop commemorating this date, because it's the day that it's the day that you guys invaded and started destroying our culture, and you guys don't even give a crap about the day anyway. So the whole thing was that during the Invasion Day protests in Sydney, a guy carrying homemade explosives was found and thankfully caught before he could do anything, but he was going to bomb the Invasion Day protest. But because he was white, no one's talking about it anymore. Because he was white, all that happened was just, I think he got like 7 years in prison.
Jesus.
Damn, not even 10. Jesus Christ.
What's the Invasion Day
that's a
like
weird
protest about?
Such a weird polar opposite, because like here in the States, bro, it's kind of weird, because like you can buy explosives, right? Like it's very common. It's called tannerite. And oddly enough, like it's like for fun, right? Like you're supposed to like take it out in the middle of nowhere and blow stuff up with it. But
Yeah,
if you
you guys
like
bang Kinder eggs.
if you were to like do that type of stuff, like if you were to bring that to a parade, like you're getting hit with like probably upwards of like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it like because owning that that falls under the First Amendment technically because it's considered like it's considered self-defense weaponry. So it's because the founding fathers didn't think this through, and I don't blame them. They couldn't have possibly thought this through.
I mean, no one can see the future, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's definitely like there's like a level to it. Like I think when it comes to pew pews, sorry, I have to remind myself to talk in TikTok language. There's a certain level of owning pew pews to where like it makes sense. I personally own a handful of them, and there is like that level of like, yes, a tyrannical government is a potential thing. We're seeing it now, and sadly, the extent of which I don't think the extent of like necessarily like an official rebellion amongst the people need to happen. I think National Guards need to start coming in and pushing ICE off of people because
Yeah,
this is getting ridiculous.
I think I did hear someone ask what's the Invasion Day protest about. As I said, it's the Aboriginal people doing a protest to change the date of Australia's like national holiday, because we are the only country in the world that commemorates the day that a genocide was done.
Is the holiday officially called Invasion Day?
Officially, it is known as Australia Day.
Okay,
It is the
I was
Aboriginal.
gonna say that would be crazy.
The Aboriginal people refer to it as Invasion Day.
Well,
Yeah,
what genocide is
Well, of
it?
course, they were the ones that were invaded.
Well, when it's I'll let the Australian explain
so-
Australian history.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Lackstar,
so-
you were gonna say something.
The
No, it's
Lackstar
fine.
asked what genocide was it? So when the British landed here in Australia, they declared that the land was terra nullius. That basically means no one's living here, and thus it was ripe for colonization. Despite the fact that there were people living here, it was
free
just that those
game!
people. What was that?
No, I said the colonists said it was free game. This is free game out here. It's all free. It's free real
pretty
estate.
much. Yeah, pretty much. So when the he colonists landed, because they were told it was terra nullius, they settled on sacred land. They cut down sacred trees, and basically just did things that the Aboriginal people did not approve of. And whenever they came up and like tried to get them to fuck off, because it's their land, and we pointed guns at them.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
oftentimes what would happen is that because we pointed guns at them, we would often open fire. And
Sorry, finish up, and then I have something to say.
And for the last 200 years, we have been slowly trying to erase their culture and erase them, even going so far as the Stolen Generation, which started as early as 1910 and lasted till 1962. In which we kidnapped Aboriginal children, and we kidnapped Aboriginal children that were white passing enough, and we gave them to white families to basically raise the Aboriginal culture out of them.
One of our presidents, Andrew Jackson, did that where he led a fucking attack on a Native American village, unalived a bunch of people, and then stole a child to quote unquote tame the savage.
Oh, dude, did you not freaking hear the Native American schools that
Oh
were
yeah,
dude, they're still finding mass graves.
yeah.
The most recent one was found like 2 years ago, somewhere out in like Indiana. So for these schools, they were basically they were designed to teach Native American people to basically be Christian, right? Because the early America, they very much wanted it to be a Christian nation, and the best way, they were torture camps. That's what they were. They just were torture camps for children. And it's wild how these places existed up until the 1900s. I think the car was invented after they got dismantled, which is that's crazy to think about. And just how the colonialists essentially, well, they didn't I don't know. I consider it's one of the biggest genocides to ever happen. It's very similar to what happened in Australia.
In Oversimplified is this YouTube channel that kind of oversimplifies history to make it easy to digest. But he has a joke in one of his videos. I forget which one it is, but it's covering Americans, the colonists expanding westward to California and all that, and it's they're planning to go colonize it, and they're there's no one there. It's perfect. And the one guy's like, oh, actually, there are people there. And he's like, oh, damn, now what are we gonna do? And the guy's like, wait, no, I didn't say they were white people. And then they all cheer because they can go invade.
War video. I know that one.
Which one was it?
The Pig War.
Oh, yeah. Man, I can't believe
Manila
that.
also did a pretty good comprehensive video on it. If you ever seen any of his stuff.
I love Sam Manila. I wish his upload schedule was more frequent.
I'm pretty sure he's officially retired.
Yeah.
But
I don't
that's
blame him.
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
The whole
kind of
thing.
like what happened in with the Spanish monarchy, you know, and with Hernan Cortés coming to the New World or whatever. But same as kind of with Australia, like people from Spain came here and and just the whole the all the the natives are the Incas, the Aztecs, and the Mayans. They're eradicated. But I feel with Mexicans it's kind of different because they still, or we still kind of embrace both native roots but also Spanish conquer
Conquistadors.
roots.
The conquistadors.
The conquistadores, yeah.
It's a great another point. I love talking about the Spanish invasion of Central America. It's actually, it's kind of odd when you really think about it, how the three great conquerors that have ever existed, in modern day colonialism, it was the British, the French, and the Spanish. And oddly enough, the Portuguese, but I guess that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, Portuguese were in Brazil.
Yep, they went more south.
This guy Vasco da Gama, who was
Yeah, I think
Portuguese.
the reason why the Portuguese were more south was because they split. Was because when they discovered the New World, they went to the when Christopher Columbus, quote unquote, discovered the New World, the thing was that he was a Portuguese working on behalf of the Spanish kingdom.
Well, he was
And so
Italian,
they went.
but
They
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, he was Italian.
Yeah, but they went to the
They went to the Spanish government to get ships to come to America. Or North America, I shouldn't say America, because that makes it sound like they came to the States.
Yeah, but the whole thing was that Spain and Portugal had a bit of a spat because on one hand it's like, hey, Spain hired his stuff, but on the other hand it was a Portuguese who found it, and they went to the Pope, and the Pope was like, hey, guys, what if we split the world in half, and Spain gets the top half, Portugal gets the bottom half, and they just kind of like stuck
They
with that.
split them up into Spain and not Spain.
that was a Tordesillas something. The Treaty of Tordesillas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why the Brazilian people like speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with
Same
And
with
why
like Mexicans.
Mexicans speak
yeah.
Spanish.
Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
I find, but there's also there's a bunch of different local dialects in a lot of those places of the world, like in Venezuela and Peru. I watched. It was a podcast. That's what it was. I had a clip of a podcast, and this guy basically he goes on to explain about how, as a kid, he would speak in this certain type of dialect, and it was like this. It was like a native language of like Peruvian people who like lived up in the mountains, right? And he kind of realized how his friends were like, they were shitting on his other friend for having this dialect in him. And eventually one day when he finally realized it, he was all like, holy shit, I'm never gonna, like, he snapped on his friends and was all like, no, don't fucking do that shit anymore, man. Which I think that's a big thing when it comes to like, how do we fix the issue, is we need to call it out when we see it, right? Because like these guys, they thought they were just being buddy, right? Because they didn't understand the cultural significance of like telling someone don't speak your language.
Mm-hmm.
I think what most people need to start doing when it comes to these like nuanced conversations of like immigration and things like that, you really have to take a step back and ask yourself, is there such a thing as a native? I like to say that there's no such real thing as a native here in North America, because we all came from the cradle of Africa, the cradle of life in Africa.
Right, the natives crossed over during
one of the ice ages, with the land bridge between Russia and North America. So it's like, you can't really say that like there was ever a point where anyone was native to anywhere. And I just find it so odd how like that's like a conversation people can have, and like they don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I like to look at it when it comes down to like how I approach any type of conversation with someone who wants to like talk about immigration. One of the big things that like I have to like always bring up is like, no one comes to a country seeking a worse life. You know what I mean? No one gets into a country illegally because they want to be here. Well, I guess not one, but like, you know what I mean? Like, no one escapes from, well, not necessarily escape. No one leaves their home country to come somewhere else because for the shits and giggles of it.
Right. There's a reason they're doing this.
Yeah,
It's for a
there's
better
all
life.
yeah, and it's normally a very serious one. And I think when it comes to I've also I don't know if you've noticed this. ICE is it's so heavily disproportionate to they're just attacking blue states. That's all they're doing. They're
Yes.
not going because like here's the thing. The highest population of illegal immigrants in the country is in Texas. Nothing wrong with that. That's just a plain and simple fact.
The
Most
Mexicans
illegal
win.
immigrants in the United States is in the state of Texas. It has the largest border with Mexico. Makes perfect fucking sense.
Yeah, like dude, like my school is like when I used to go to high school, whatever, it was kind of like close to the border. And, like we used to have a lot of lockdowns because people were like, just fucking like crossing the river and shit.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about that is yes, there is a lot of ICE presence in Texas, but no, it's completely disproportional to the amount of illegal immigrants that inhabit the state of Texas comparatively. And I try to talk about this because I am comparing it directly to Minnesota in Minneapolis right now. There is I think it's 1/3 or maybe 1/5 the amount of illegal immigrants in Minnesota, and they have triple the ICE presence that Texas has.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's wild. It's wild. It's weird it's just an attack on a blue state. That's all it is. It's just a way to get people pissed off. It's a way to try and take people's rights away. It's disgusting. It's just disgusting, man.
Yeah, it's Tim Walz is the fucking governor of. No, wait, no. Is he the governor?
No,
No,
you had that right.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's the governor of Minnesota. He's from there. That's definitely a big part of it. Clearly, it's very obvious. It's all the way to the fucking north of the country. It's so far from the border.
And I live pretty far north of the border. I live in freaking Kansas City. And I'm pretty far from the border. We have a very, very heavy. There's a lot of immigrants in my part of the world. Okay.
Is it Mexicans or just
Oh yeah, no. I mean, so I don't live in exactly Kansas City because I don't like releasing where I live. The place where I live has the biggest diversity of immigrants per capita than anywhere else in the U.S. Because oddly enough, my specific city, and my specific state is it's considered we don't know where to send you, we're going to send you here. If you immigrate into the United States. It is around Kansas City. It's not too far from Kansas City, but I don't like to announce where it is. You could probably Google it and figure it out, but that's besides the point. My point being is during Vietnam, we had a massive increase of Vietnamese immigrants. So that's one of the biggest immigration populaces that I have. And yes, we have not an absurd. I don't want to use the word absurd, but we have so many Hispanic immigrants. And you know what? It has done nothing but make everyone's life in my state better. It just makes everything better. I live in an agricultural state. I live in the Midwest. It's we need a certain level of workers. And if we didn't have immigration, we wouldn't have those workers. And I like it. That's just something that no one really understands.
Yeah, I get you. I get you in that point because I'm from Texas and all, and I've seen it myself. Most of the people in a construction site in Houston are gonna be Hispanics. In San Antonio are gonna be Hispanics and all.
Mm-hmm.
But Like I don't want to say that because like I don't want to say that illegal like immigration is good just because like they're gonna be there for working. Like I don't know, like I don't like illegal immigration. Like personally, I feel like
It's fine. You don't have to like illegal immigration. But it comes. The question is do you understand why they are coming here illegally?
no, yeah, like definitely, like dude, I lived in Mexico like up to where I was like 12, and I was a citizen. Like it was weird going to school over there and having like a social security number, and my friend from over there telling me like dude, look, we got our, because we used to have like in school we need like a little government thing. Well, Mexican people, and I was there in school, but I didn't have that because I technically didn't have like Mexican papers.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
So
but
Lex, are you a first generation immigrant then?
yeah, first generation. Like my last name is De Mateo, and that's like I think it's like fucking like Spanish. So
I would think so. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so curious about like your experience. Then it's like, so I'm guessing you're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like what is what is your perspective on like what's going on right now?
I think it's pretty like sad to see like, you know, I think it's sad to see like a lot of violence, but it's also like sad to see that, especially here, because I see it like every day. I feel like it's like a both sides. Like it's like kind of wrong because like all my family, like most of them live over there, and it's like, you know, you have my like two of my aunties like waiting 5 years, 10 years, and I don't think it's fair for someone just to like, you know, cross the river and just be there, and he gets to like stay there. Like I don't think that's cool.
You know
but
what? You are right. You are right to be frustrated with that. And the solution the thing that I wouldn't be upset at the person crossing the river. I would be upset with the person denying your auntie's entry into the country, right? Because if the person crossing the river needs a better life, then they need a better life. And they may not, like, I'm not saying your aunties are in a position to wait that long, but for the person crossing the river, they may be in a situation where they really can't wait any longer. It could be something as simple as, you know, the threat of violence, right? You know, there are dangerous people who live in Mexico who have a lot of influence. There is a certain degree of corruption in the government with the cartels.
yeah, like dude, one Christmas, like this is gonna go a lot of talk off topic, but like really fast. One Christmas, we had to like go buy, you know, beer, you know, Tecate, Corona, whatever, and stuff. And the cops, they stop us because we technically didn't have the seatbelt on, but we did had it, and we bought all the stuff with card, and they were like, "So you guys don't have any cash? Nothing? Well, give us all, like, you know, all the chips, all the Coke, all the beer." And he's like, "Bruh."
Oh, they wanted a bribe, and they took all your shit.
Yeah, they took all of our shit, so we had to go back and buy, you know,
you gotta go get more
beer again. Like
horrible thing that happens in other countries, and you know it also happens in the U.S. on a smaller degree. Cops take money all the time, and I'm very sorry that happened. And I guess that kind of brings me back to the point of, like, you know, there are some people can't handle it. They just can't handle that type of stuff, and that's why they leave as soon as possible. once again, what your aunties are going through right now, it's an atrocity. It is a genuine atrocity, and I want the path of immigration to just simple. I want it to be simpler. I want it to be simpler. I think if we made the path of immigration to the United States simpler, it would ultimately do nothing but benefit the United States, and it would also
I
benefit
agree.
benefit Mexico. Because
Yeah,
if
I feel
people,
like that. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry if I cut you off. Like,
no, you're fine. You're fine. No harm, no foul. Go on. Say if you want to say something. Go ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to say yeah, like that's true. I feel like um, but I don't think that even like making it the process easier, I don't think that that's gonna stop a lot of people from trying to like go illegally or stay there like illegally. Like,
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's not gonna stop the situation, but it does make it better. So there's like a certain degree of like we're never gonna have no illegal immigrants. That's never going to happen in the U.S. But what we can do is we can reduce the amount of illegal immigrants that come into the U.S. by making a better path of legalization. One of the biggest issues with U.S. and Mexico immigration is the majority of people who come into the United States simply have a Mexican passport and proceed to just come into the U.S. because you don't need to pay to get into the U.S. You don't need a bunch of different type of you don't need like an absurd amount of documentation to come stay for 90 days in the United States. All you need is any type of passport, and you can come into the United States.
well, you do need your like visa though.
Oh,
But
there's a mandatory visa for?
yeah, there's like you need a permit too
Oh,
if you stay
really?
more than 30 days. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, for more than 30 days. Yeah. I'm talking specifically just staying for 30 days. So like I don't know, like do you need a visa for less than 30 days? Cuz in the
Yeah,
United
like you need a visa just to cross. Like you can't just like let's say I'm like actual Mexican, and like let's say I'm in a border town and I want to go have like McDonald's over there or whatever, and I just have my Mexican passport. They cannot let me cross because we need well, I don't, but Mexican people like in general, if they want to cross, they need a visa, and the whole process of the visa is to like go through the background of that like Mexican person and see that they're not affiliated with like any crimes. So let's say you committed like a crime, like let's say you rob someone. Let's say you rob a convenience store in Mexico and that goes through your record. The Mexican government it's not gonna let you get that visa, neither the US government. So that's like the whole yeah.
Wow. Okay. See, it's very different from on this side of in America. If you have no criminal record, you can just go into Mexico and just come right back.
Yeah.
The last time I visited Mexico, I'm pretty sure I didn't even like it was just like it was a border town off of kind of near South Padre.
Oh, dude, you went to La Isla del Padre, South Padre Island.
Yeah. I love South Padre.
Yeah, I'm literally right there in like Brownsville, McAllen area.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, small
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, dude. Like the border town, like that borders like Brownsville and all that. It's Matamoros.
Okay, that's where I went then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I could be wrong about this, because it has been a while. It's been a couple of years since I had a visit down to Mexico. But last time I was down in Mexico, I'm pretty sure I didn't even have to show my passport to get into the country. I just had to show it to get out. I could be wrong about that because we walked over the bridge to like we crossed the what's it called? What's the river? What's the
El
river?
Rio.
Yeah, the Rio Grande. The Rio Grande. That's it.
El Rio Grande Valley. Bueno,
Yeah, and it was. I'm pretty sure I didn't have to show anything to get into Mexico, but that like I had to have my documentation on me to leave or to come back to the United States.
yeah, yeah. You like when you go out, because like I think the system is like that because so many people like go in. Like a lot of Mexican people like just go in just to like be around and stuff, and like the Mexican government like doesn't really like check. You know, they do have their like metal detectors and stuff, but it's not like it's not like the U.S. when they like, can I see your papers, or
Yep,
and
it's
they don't require a
it's a whole
visa for
thing.
like
It's a
Mexico.
whole thing,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, I think that's like I don't know. I think that's part of the issue is like, oh, Americans can go into Mexico whenever they want, but Mexican people they can't come. They can't come into the United States. It's kind of a double standard that I'm not comfortable with. I think if it's going to be difficult for Mexican people to come into the United States, I think it should be difficult for American people to go into Mexico. Here's a little fun fact for you. There's a little fun fact. The U.S. and Mexico have the most militarized border for any two countries that are not currently at war with each other. Isn't that wild? That we don't hate each other, but we have one of the most secured and militarized borders around the planet. That's weird. That's a weird thing.
Well, I'll say probably because like if I was the U.S. and my neighbor is my neighbor, their government is being controlled by organized crime, I'll think I'll be like
Yeah, and like to a degree I understand that. It's like, there's a certain like you got to be cautious, right? Like
Yeah.
I understand being cautious. The cartels are massive criminal organizations that are very well organized. They're basically small governments, like realistically speaking.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, dude, so like I was born in 07, right? And a lot of people that I used to go to elementary school, like not a lot of people, but some people have already, just straight up disappear because they got like involved with this like organizations because they pin it to you as like, yeah, we give like because a lot of like sadly a lot of like young Mexicans see the cartels as like the only opportunity to have wealth, and so they just seek for it.
And sadly, these cartels they take full advantage of that. I've heard how like some of the initiation for some of them are
killing each other. Yeah,
it's like, okay, go kill your brother to show your loyalty type shit.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like that's wow. That's just wow. And I think if the U.S. wants to make it a point to fight the cartels, that's one thing. But if we're going to fight cartels, I don't think increasing immigration for the average guy is going to make... Because like I said, the cartels, they're extremely organized. They're small governments, right? They're massive gang organizations that control hundreds and hundreds. Like, they control entire towns, to my understanding.
Yeah. Like my origin town is controlled by organized crime. Yeah.
And it's like, to that degree, it's like, if this is such an issue for the U.S., it's like, why not lend aid to Mexico and do something about the cartels?
Yeah, it's because it's kind of weird because like if you want to give aid, you have to ensure that this person is not an informant or that he doesn't have like connections. It's like it's really like it's gonna be really hard for like the government to like really cleanse and like clean itself to like know who is gonna be
who isn't.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew this. Like this was kind of like recent. Like I think
If it's recent, I don't know it. I live under a rock.
Oh, but yeah. Well, in Mexico, we had like a mayor of a town who was actively fighting this organized crimes, and he got killed. And the president right now, Claudia, the president right now, she didn't like mention anything. Every single time they like any reporter tried to like ask like why are the
Why are these people
yeah,
disappearing?
why are murders going up? Why are kidnaps going up? Why are people being less safe? Like she just just goes like completely deaf. It's like insane. Like I don't know. I think that for my, let's say, the elderly in my family, their perspective is just so completely because my mom or auntie, uncle, grandpa, like they grew up in such a different like Mexico that was really you know straightforward, like hard work. It's so hard for like the older people see how Mexico has turned into like just so much corruption. Like it's insane. I don't know.
And I can't speak on the situation to I can't speak on it in a sense of like I don't know what the solution would be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really like complicated.
I
Like
don't know what the solution to that would be. I don't think the traditional American way that they go upon it, installing their own figurehead for the government. I don't think I don't view that as a positive. What we did with Venezuela is, and like I understand that Venezuela had its problems, right? I
Yeah.
don't think it is appropriate for the United States to be going into other countries and removing their leaders under any circumstance, right?
yeah,
Like,
that's
I don't think
completely true. Yeah,
it's like if we do that with any country, it's like, okay, are we allowed to do that with China? Are we allowed to do that with Burma? Are we allowed to do that with or Myanmar, depending on your political associations on that situation? It's like, where's the line in the sand of going
Yeah.
into other countries and removing their leaders, right?
Yeah, it's insane. Like it was like in a matter of what, like minutes. So and yeah, but I feel like you also have to see what a lot of Venezuelan people like say about it. I have a friend who I met in London, and he was a Venezuelan, and he had a flat, and literally on his birthday, like when it was January, on his birthday, they captured Maduro, and like he sent me a message like, dude, like my uncle who had been a political
It was a positive for him, I'm guessing, or a
it
negative.
was a what? Excuse me? No, he was like in prison, but because he was in a protest, like his uncle, and he got liberated, like he got out, and
Okay. So
and
the guy was protesting the leader, and then when the leader got removed, he got out of prison because
released. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that is good. I'm not saying that there's no good that can happen from it. I'm just like,
No, I understand your point.
Yeah.
Your point, like it's like they don't have the authority to do it.
Exactly. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I am glad that your friend got out. So.
Oh yeah. Like
Tell him, hey, good. The random dude in the Midwest says, "Congrats on getting out."
yeah, and like it's like all like so many, like the videos that my friend like sent me. It was like people just going out of the street, like just being so happy because
because of the
because of Yeah, because the guy,
the sudden political shift.
because dude, Maduro was like he was
Dictator.
a
He was a
dictator.
dictator.
It's like, and there like I feel like to a certain degree there's no
There's no excuse for
moral,
it.
like like I don't think it's morally correct to go on and remove people from like government positions, but you cannot.
I can't deny that like what
Yeah,
happened was a positive for for Venezuelan people.
yeah.
Maduro was a dictator. He did horrible things.
Hey, not to cut this short, but I do gotta end the live.
It is getting late, and we're kind of just rambling. So it was nice meeting you, Laxter. I'm gonna hit you with a follow.
Yeah, same.
You guys have a good night. I'm gonna
You
go
too.
find some Republicans to debate.
Awesome.
Yeah, likewise.